So, Zack, tell me more about this big game ethos.
Persona 4 is a weird game about making friends and then making those friends fight to the death.
Fair enough.
And that's
all that we need to know.
It takes a long time to get through that game.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Talkbox Podcast. Here, as always, I'm your host, Chad, Captain Tempest. With me, I've got Zack, Cryolord 530.
Help!
Adam, the Dutch Oven.
I'm monitoring the waveforms.
And returning guests, we have both Angie and Jason.
Hello.
So we're here, back from the dead. It's been, what, 3 months? 4 months?
It's been months.
2 months?
It's just been a number of months. Time in the morning.
It's been eons, got it.
Yeah,
So,
too long.
We're here in the early February season. It's still bitterly cold outside here in Bumfuck, Connecticut.
Bitterly cold.
Yeah, very
Like Antarctic temperatures.
Oh my good. And it was like 50 degrees for a couple days too. And it was like nice. And then it's like, nope, you're going back to the fucking tundras here. So
For 2 days it was nice. And once all the birds came out, we went, ah!
So
Fuck you! Freezing the branch! And that was
it. So here we are. Here we are in the first week of February. We're here. We're going to talk today about a ton of games that came out in January. We're not going to talk about everything, but we're going to talk about like our personal picks and stuff that we thought was really interesting.
and stuff that hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, there was surprisingly a lot of stuff that came out this month, and usually January is like dead for both movies and video games. So I was
I
very
think it's
surprised.
really just more like everyone's trying to get their announcements out so that they can get people like excited.
Yeah, that too.
They just shout games onto the internet. People
Well,
are like,
yeah.
I like that game.
No, it's literally like, hey everybody! And then like, just like, a new Mario game! And someone's like, I remember what Mario is. I'm still playing it. Shit, they're making another? Okay, well I guess I'll pre-order right now.
Yep.
And
So-
then I'll just wait a month. Oh, not out yet? Okay, well...
We'll dive right into it. Stuff that came out in January. First up is Dragon Ball FighterZ, which if you've been living under a rock, it's the literally like new big fighting game that everyone wants to see at EVO this summer. Basically, it's as it sounds. You're taking a bunch of characters from the Dragon Ball universe and putting them in a 2D fighting game akin to like Marvel vs. Capcom.
They added a new one though. It's one of those things. One of the big news the items that I remember when it was first coming out was like, we made an original character for this game, and she's only in the game and not in any other Dragon Ball thing.
But she was designed by Akira Toriyama. I'm going to butcher that name. I actually have no idea.
You got it. You got it.
Zack,
You're
excellent.
good. You did it.
Akira Toriyama designed it. Akira Toriyama being like the guy that like designed all of the characters for the original anime series. So it's like she may as well be a part of the canon at this point.
All I know is that she turns people into food and then eats them Kirby style.
Yep, that's good old Android 21. Originally, she was just a scientist with the Red Ribbon Android Army, and then for some reason she's also a Majin Buu character. Which, if you go on Twitter, oh boy, you're gonna have a great time sifting through all the fan art and very, very disturbing things that people have to say.
But they also did this for characters for ARMS. So
of course,
it's not like Nintendo can, or it's not like anyone can make any character and not just be like, hey, I made a sentient ball covered in spikes. Someone's gonna make something weird.
No, I know.
Like
I was just surprised at the speed at which people just went.
No, someone's just gonna be like, oh, look at the booty on that. And they're like, it's a ball of spikes, you idiot! Stop sexualizing cactuses!
There's the podcast.
Kingdom Hearts has a cactus sword, I guess. They showed that in the latest trailer.
Interesting.
It's not for anything, and it's not even related to
Is it like Cactuses and like Cactuar, the little character?
No, it's a Keyblade for the Toy Story world.
Oh, that's
that makes sense.
Interesting.
And it has a little sheriff star and a little hat.
Oh, that makes sense.
And you use it to beat up guys. Because they have a Toy Story world, and it looks really cool.
They do.
From the last trailer I saw. That wasn't even on the list. I just wanted to say.
Alright, so back on track to Dragon Ball FighterZ. Apparently a lot of people like it. There are a lot of issues with matchmaking in the lobby. There were problems in the beta too. They were able to fix some of them, but it still kind of takes a while for you to find a match, and disconnects happen mid-combat. It's very unfortunate, and I hope that they can continue to.
But it's one of those
fix
things that's been happening a lot for a lot of different games.
Yeah.
Like, I've noticed that there have been like just across the board issues with like connecting with people, especially with like newer games that are coming out or are in beta or any of that stuff. Like you would expect it, but it's just weird that everyone's having those problems.
Bethesda already trademarked the "it's a glitch, it's a feature,"
There you
so
go.
everybody else can't do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but the game's pretty sweet. The combat's very easy to pick up. It's not like a fighting game where it's like, here's a list of all the commands, memorize them. Like,
It's
you can
mash and then button mash
well,
some more.
it's not even button mashing. Like, they do have the list of commands that you can pull from, but you can also do what they did in Arcana Heart,
3.
where you can basically simplify the combos and be pressing one button, and it will do the combo that is tied to that button.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Also, I think it's really cool that they were able to bring back a lot of the original voice cast to record for everything. In addition, they also have some secret like openings. Like, for example, if you have Goku versus Frieza and Krillin's not on either team, it will play a special cinematic opening from the anime where Frieza kills Krillin, and then Goku's like, "Frieza, you traitor," or something like that.
Cool.
I don't remember,
Right in the
but
face.
there's a lot of other special ones that happen like that. Like, there's ones from Dragon Ball Super with Beerus and some people from like the movies and stuff like that.
Is it weird that it reminds me of like Fire Emblem support conversations? Like, I feel like that's the same. It's like,
yeah, it's kind of there.
We have history. Here's that history, and now we will have a conversation.
No, it's
before
a
this
great
battle.
it's a great throwback, and there's a lot of finishing moves as well. Like, if you're on the dying Namek planet with Goku and Frieza, it also plays the end of that fight if Goku wins.
That's really cool.
So it's very interesting how much, like, you know, effort and thought went into designing all this stuff.
It's definitely a love letter to the series.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely would recommend picking this up if you're a fan of DBZ. Also, if you're a fan of fighting games, like, this is a very, very good like entry level game. I think if you're looking to get into it.
Fighting games, terrific.
Nothing.
I know some things.
We did Anime Girl Island.
That podcast
Yeah,
never
Arcana
got
Heart.
uploaded.
No?
No.
Oh man, but I'm the
Because-
king of Anime Girl Island.
Audacity glitched on that episode.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
That's a story.
All right, so moving on from that, Dragon Ball FighterZ is great. The next big game that got released was Monster Hunter World.
Woo!
Yeah.
So-
A friend of mine is obsessed with the Monster Hunter series to the point of having to steal Chinese people's identities in order to play the Monster Hunter Online that's in China. Because they had an MMO version that you could only use a Chinese social security number to get into.
I definitely remember you telling me this story.
It's
So
a great story.
yeah,
I've heard that with Pokemon
and he-
in Japan.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
But now that Monster Hunter Worlds is out, he's like, I'm super. Like, I think
yeah, we're on that train
He
now.
only bought a PS4 for this. Like, it's one of those. But he loves it. Super enjoys it. You can make your own cat person, which is cool. I was a little disappointed because I remember trying the demo for, I think it was the last Monster Hunter on the 3DS, which I forgot the name.
I can't remember the name of it either, but yeah.
But it was fun because you got to play as the cat. That was a whole class, was like a support class based around being the cat guy, and you had a cool boomerang. And they didn't let you do that in this one, which I thought was a bummer. But it's different companies making it, so I understand that. People love Monster Hunter World, though. It's doing great.
Looks pretty.
It does have connection issues. Looks gosh darn gorgeous, and all the monster designs are great. Like, they had a bird.
There's some brand new ones too. If I
There's a
remember.
bird that's also a chameleon that has like the swivel eyes. I love it. So adorable.
It's Monster Hunter's Generations.
Generation.
That's it. Thank you so much.
The only way that I remember it is just because it's for the 3DS, and there was a ton of crossover content that you could just like download special costumes and stuff like
Yep.
that. Your little cat person could be dressed like Mega Man, and you could be Samus. It was good.
Mega Man.
But no, it's good.
Kajit.
I know everyone likes. It seems like melee is super important in this one because like no one seems to like ranged. But then every once in a while you'll see like a dedicated ranged person use like a longbow and just demolish something. And so that's kind of like, it's a weird divide in the player base as to whether or not ranged is worth it. I think it's very much like you have to micromanage, but I've been told that there's a lot of interesting stuff with, like, you can add mods to your ranged weapons that are like different, like
Like, say, like explosive ammo for arrows and whatnot.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
but that's just ammo types. This is like modding the bow itself.
Oh,
so
oh.
like, you know, I add a different grip, or I add like double bow shot, or a silencer. I don't know.
Interesting.
A silence
I'll put a
crop.
blade on the bow.
Yeah.
Silence crop.
Shield.
Yeah, that'd be. They had that in I think Dynasty Warriors doesn't count because you can use anything, but it's one of those things where like the bows were all also like bladed weapons, where like the actual bow parts were just like swords, and you just like
That's really interesting.
that's cool. But it didn't matter because it was just like, I'm a bow character. I'm just gonna smack guys with it.
Yeah.
Breathing.
What was the
Speaking of
Mickey Mouse
Dynasty
sound?
Warriors, they're making an
Don't
open world
fucking-
version The newest Dynasty Warriors is going to be open world. It's going to be dumb.
What are they up to at this point? For numbers?
11 or 12.
Yeah, that sounds
same
about right.
story, same characters. They haven't changed anything. It's still Romance of the Three Kingdoms, but it's the open world now.
Okay.
So you can hop on a boat and slowly traverse a river, and then run up on a battle and be like, "I'm here for the battle," and everyone's like, "This is a separate battle from a different time." Sorry.
All right. So moving on from Monster Hunter World,
Get
and I
back
guess
on
to an
your
extent Dynasty Warriors there. We'll have a little Final Fantasy section here. So there were 3 games that either have come out or are coming out. The first one being Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. I'll talk a little bit about this one just because I know the general concepts, but I've only seen it like streamed. I don't know all of the mechanics about it, but at its core, it is a Final Fantasy fighting game in a 3D arena, and you basically move with the same kind of battle system that they've had pretty much since Final Fantasy 12 at this point.
Yeah.
But it's like you can pick from any of the characters from a huge selection of the Final Fantasy games. Like you could have Garland from Final Fantasy 1 and he'll knock you all down.
Hey,
I remember you laughed at his name.
Because it's the thing that you hang on trees.
can you be? Can you be? I forgot. I think it's Sabine. And can you like pile drive a train?
Oh shoot. I can't remember.
Yeah, one of the
Top my
Final
head.
Fantasies. You pile drive a ghost train.
Oh, yeah.
Or you have the ability to suplex a train. pretty much.
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Thank
it.
you. Suplex.
He might be. I'm not 100% sure.
Fantastic.
I know that some other favorites, obviously, like Cloud, Sephiroth, Kefka, and like a couple other characters like that are going to be in it. So this is basically the next step up for that. So Dissidia was basically that. This is building on that same system, but now instead of just 1v1s, it's going to be 3v3s. So you're going to go into combat with 2 additional players, or 2 additional characters, I guess, if it's single player, and you can swap between them, maybe.
I guess the question is whether or not that's like, is it going to be more like I'm on a team with these 3 players, and then I have to pick like a match of Joust in Smite, or I don't know if there's a 3v3 for League. Like, is it?
Yeah.
I pick from my cast of characters, or is it? I always main Sephiroth because I'm Sephiroth XXX492.
I assume people. Can
I guess
be
I'm
like
going to
that.
join up with a crew of 3 other people, and they're all Sephiroths as well.
I don't think you can have.
Which one of them is me?
I don't think you can have the same
Different hair
character on
colors.
any given team, but you
my
like
God.
you lock into a character before you go to matchmaking. So if you lock in Sephiroth, you're going to be put on a team with 2 other separate characters, not 2 other Sephiroths.
Okay.
I think. Again, I was only watching the beta on stream. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I figured it was worth mentioning because we have a bunch of other Final Fantasy.
I was going to
games
say
here.
it's a team of 3 Sephiroths versus the team of 3 Aerithes.
You are the
And it
worst.
takes place on that stage that's just like pools of water. It's just like, ah!
You can hear the cries of the planet. Anyway, so the next game in that Final Fantasy section was the Final Fantasy 15 Regal Edition. Jason, would you like to take that?
I know that I'm pretty sure that it's coming out March 6th. Right now you can finally pre-order it on Steam for $59.99. And it comes with all of the DLCs that have come out for $15 at $60, which is what it was when it came out before all the DLCs came out, which is great.
Does that include the Assassin's Creed DLC?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It includes the Assassin's Creed, all 3 of the episodes, Comrades, which was the multiplayer DLC that came out, all of the updates for the Regalia, which is the car, and some extra, outfit packs.
Like
and
PC
stuff.
exclusive stuff.
Yeah, PC exclusive. It also comes with, I think, 2 new quests and 5 new boss battles that you can do.
Wow, that's a lot of content. I thought it was just going to be like a straight port.
Nope.
But
No, it's got a whole bunch of added stuff into it, and it's for $60, which is what the original game was.
Added stuff
right.
and some shirts that you can wear in game.
Yes, some extra outfits and
You want
stuff.
some fancy pants? Get this version.
I think there's there's also a Cup of Noodles crossover thing where you can get codes for outfits from actual ramen Cup of Noodles.
I think it
my
was. I think it
goodness.
was something like
Was
that.
it?
Because Gladio is obsessed with cup noodles. For anyone
He
who doesn't
sure
know the
is.
Wasn't there a commercial for their cup noodles?
game. there was a cup noodles commercial in the game. It wasn't really a cup noodles commercial, but there's an entire quest line based with Gladio, based around going and getting real ingredients. Like you go and kill a behemoth.
Yeah.
Just to chop it into bits and put it in cup noodles.
Yeah.
And then there's the next 5 minutes of Gladio talking about how much he loves cup noodles and how amazing they are.
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Remind me to tell you later about there's a Cup of Noodles story.
Oh my
that
God.
a friend of mine told me about. But
Good.
yes.
We'll save
Yes,
it.
please tell me.
All right, so that is Final Fantasy 15 Regal Edition, basically the definitive version of it. You can get it on PC. I assume it probably will also be for console, or no?
Yes, but with console, I think
They already have.
they already have all of the DLCs
Yeah.
and stuff. I think you can go and buy it, but most
Although I
people have
think
bought the Seasons Pass already.
They're getting rid of the Assassin's Creed one isn't going to be offered anymore.
No, it's going the way of the Chocobo Festival, where it was only open for a certain period of
Right.
time. I think,
Oh, and if you get it, you get to keep it, but if you miss that period, you're just out of luck.
Yeah.
Except the Chocobo one, even if you bought it in time, it was only open for a certain amount of time. You could only play it within a certain month period.
Okay.
And now it's gone.
They're trying to keep it
They're trying to be exclusive, be like, for the people that are constantly playing this game, here's a tip-off for you guys. But it's like,
okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for everybody else.
yeah.
All right, so that's Final Fantasy 15 Regal Edition. Next, we've also got Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, which I learned about literally this week. Because I saw that a bunch of people were pre-ordering it. I'm like, wait a minute, is this like a new thing, or is this like a port? And it turns out it is a port, but it's got a bunch of updated systems. Because originally with Final Fantasy 12, apparently, if I'm remembering this correctly, each one of the job mechanic systems was different based on the region that you got it in. So America was different from Europe, which was different from Japan, but it was global consensus that Europe had the best tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
So
that's
they
what it
basically
was.
took that one, and they're using that as the basis, but they also reworked it with a bunch of new stuff in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of additional content in it that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And arguably, according to my friend, he believes that Final Fantasy XII is probably the best so far. Obviously the new ones have their appeal, but he thinks that, since 12, there hasn't really been anything that matches it in terms of, story and character development and whatnot. So
The main character isn't, the one thing I remember about Final Fantasy 12 is that Vaughn, the main character, is not important to the plot.
I never got to play 12.
good old Captain No Shirt.
Yeah, Captain No Shirt doesn't have a purpose. And, he's just I want to be a sky pirate. And then they're like, we're here for the rebellion because we want to help save the world. And he's like, I'm still feeling sky piratey, but I guess I'm here. Yeah.
I will admit that
Shoot.
Vaughn...
And then it's and you don't even need him in your party. You can have everyone else, your main combat squad, be other people, and he is not required. And you can leave him as underleveled as you want, and it's great.
I believe that was also true with, if I remember Final Fantasy... Yeah, 10. You didn't need to use
Titus
at all.
Yeah, I don't think I ever used Titus once.
Same thing with Final Fantasy VII. I don't think you actually ever needed Cloud to be in the party. You just had to, do whatever you
He had to
wanted.
deal with his whining.
Yeah, pretty much.
And his posture syndrome. Poor boy.
That's what he does.
But yeah,
I'm the main character. Care about me. No.
It's been ported to Steam as Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. I think it currently is released, but I think it's still discounted for a little bit for 20% off, so you can grab it. And it just gets you the full game and a bunch of extra goodies. Again, another definitive version of a Final Fantasy game. So next up, we've got Yakuza 6, which is not released, but Zack
It's coming
wanted
out.
to bring it up.
They got delayed till April. It's really interesting because they went and released the last game that they released was Yakuza 0, which was a prequel game to the first one that everyone was like, okay, this is cool. And now they're just so you tried that prequel, and we know we have 5 other games, but here's the 6th one, and now everyone's like, this is weird, but it's cool.
There's a lot of weird content in those games.
Yakuza is the weirdest game
I got
series.
to see the picture of him and the face that he made when he realized he had to beat the shit out of a whole bunch of people in diapers. That was...
It's okay. I cannot. It's a Japanese soap opera with cool combat.
And little Yakuza members play it, and are
no, it's great. No, everyone really enjoys it, and it's just a great series. I would definitely recommend everyone go out and check it out. But Yakuza 6 got delayed, but the demo's coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
So you can still check out the demo eventually, and it looks really cool. It looks like a interesting continuation of the story of Kiryu is doing this weird single dad thing, but it's not his kid, and he's trying to find
whose kid it
The
is.
actual parent.
Yeah, well, I think it's I don't know. I didn't play 5 or 4, so I only know the very basics of it. I just know Kiryu hits guys. Like I played a little bit of Yakuza 0, and it's basically just like, hey Kiryu, what's your deal? I'm big and I eat guys, and it's just like, okay, that's what you do. And then random people are like, hey Kiryu, I need your help. Please help me. I'm the worst breakdancer, and then you have to teach them how to breakdance.
God.
And then
Please tell me there's a mini game attached to that.
there is.
Yeah.
There's a mini- okay. Yakuza is like a really good version of a game I used to play that was just full of mini games called Shenmue 2. Shenmue
yes.
2 is just a really crappy early Yakuza that isn't very good. Because it's all quick time events, all the mini games are stupid, and like the combat is never really important. Like it's only important for 3 instances, and you don't even get a chance to use it at the very first 5 hours of the fucking game. So, like, by the time combat does happen, you don't know what to do. You're just like, I've spent 5 hours doing quick time events. I'm supposed to... How do I punch? And then you get, like, demolished. It's great.
Well, hey, maybe they'll fix that in Shenmue 3.
They won't. It's coming out. It got...
Oh, it did?
Oh, you...
I thought this was still like a development hell thing.
No. This was years ago. It got fully funded on Kickstarter. And the original guy, like, released the, like, announcement at, like, E3 a while back.
Yep,
where he was
I
like,
remember seeing that.
Hey, guys, Shenmue 3 exists. And everyone was like, what happened? How do we live in this timeline? Were you dead? Like, it was great.
Yeah, and then I remember they announced that with the Final Fantasy VII remake, too.
It's not going to be good, though. Like, I can tell you right now, it's Shenmue 3. It's not going to be very good.
Alright, fair enough.
Not to crap on people. Like, I like Shenmue 2. It's not going to be very
Think
good.
of it this way: if you're pessimistic, if it does happen to be good, it's a pleasant surprise.
I would rather play all, like, 7 Yakuza games with splinters in my eyelids than I would play Shenmue 3. Because I am so guaranteed that Shenmue 3 is going to be like Shenmue 2. And Shenmue 2 wasn't very... Like, I liked it. It's not a game. Like, damn!
Alright, so that is that's our spiel on Yakuza /Shenmue. So moving on next, the other big announcement that came last month was Nintendo Labo. Which really had a polarizing response from audiences. Either they loved it, or they were super fucking confused by it.
Well, it's the...
Both, for me.
Have you ever had that moment where you've thought about what the future is going to look like, and like you have like this idea of like sleek hardware and like shiny like reflective surfaces, and then some asshole is around in like cardboard robots? Like I feel like that's kind of what like people were like, what's the next thing in Nintendo technology? You just gave us the Switch. Are you going to give us a fully VR suit that we wear? And they're going to go, yeah, but it's made of cardboard. And everyone's going to go, what? I'd be very confused.
Nintendo is like, hey, remember when you were a kid, you used to paint cardboard boxes and put them on your head? You're like, yeah? Well, now you can do that. Put Switch controllers in there. This one looks like a piano.
Yeah, no, it looks cool.
Yeah.
I will say
Cool.
from a design standpoint, it is a cool idea, and I can see where it's definitely like matching with like their intended audience, which is kids.
Yeah.
They're always going to be a fun game company that does fun stuff for kids that kids like, and this is a perfect example of that.
And that's actually something you said I wanted to build on, the fact that you said it's a game company. That's what Nintendo has always kind of viewed themselves as. They're not a video game company. They're not a hardware company. They're just a game company.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to forget that they got their start making fucking like playing cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is kind of a throwback to that. It's like, hey, we can still like do very creative and fun and weird things.
And it is
super fun and
we
creative.
wanna be
Like,
able to have other people be able to experience
The
that.
4 things that I saw, like just the stuff from the Nintendo Labo trailer was very impressive.
Yeah, and
Like
the
cardboard robot.
there are 2 versions that are coming out.
Oh.
There's the robot kit, which is just the robot and it comes with a game for it.
Cool.
And then there's the variety kit, which is, you can do like make it look like a motorcycle.
Yeah, the motorcycle,
Make it look like a
handlebars.
giant fishing thing, a
Yep.
piano,
Yeah.
and then that's
little house.
that also comes with the game.
All right.
So you're getting colorful cardboard.
But
And
it
again-
is definitely very cool, especially like this is something that like, I doubt that the electronics are so advanced on this that I could definitely have like a 5-year-old like with a bunch of cardboard just make all of this, and I'm sure it would be fun for it.
Yeah,
and
like
it would also learn.
the robot thing is you have the box and you have the two things you put the weak things in, and the
Yeah.
thing you put on your head to make you look like a robot.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Like I could see
Well,
that
okay,
being
it's
used
like
for
a-
like technical operations class of some kind. Like
of
I feel like this,
Comes with orange string
despite the
pencils.
fact, despite the fact that it's
STEM.
also a game, I feel like this could be something that you could use educationally.
Well, it's a very good
yeah.
STEM-based product. Like you're learning how to create, and you can. It's very easy. Like you can learn how to create, and you can learn how to machine, and you can learn how like programming works easily through like connecting things.
Yeah, so I can tell you what comes in the variety kit that you can
What
make.
you got?
all right.
You can make 2 RC cars,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
1 fishing rod,
Haha.
1 house, 1 motorbike, and 1 piano.
Nice. And those
Alright.
should be good.
Yeah, and the same pieces, you just flip it around.
Okay, but can I combine them?
if you have multiple kids, I'm sure you can.
Good old Zack asking the hard questions here.
I bought 3 switches so that I could play the piano while driving a car against my buddy on a motorcycle.
And I'm also a robot. There we go.
I am
You're
also
a robot. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
God, it's on-
Whoa! Party foul.
I'm sorry, everybody. I was laughing about robots.
Don't move.
All right, I will
Don't
not
move.
Don't
We'll
move.
fix that.
But I'm a little disappointed that the variety pack doesn't let you combine all of them to make the robot. I was hoping for like a Voltron.
Oh, okay. I
Okay,
get
I
what
see
you're
what you
saying.
mean.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right, we're good. Nothing's broken.
Okay, thank goodness.
You know, the
Excellent.
people at Mojang are kicking themselves, going, "Huh? Why didn't we do that?"
Because they made physical things that you can give children to whack each other with.
Exactly.
I have a
25-year-old
Minecraft.
children.
Do you have a problem with Minecraft weapons in your workplace, or is this just a thing?
No, it's just the Minecraft. And no, it's every once in a while they still bring up like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm like, you're 5. It's like,
Yeah, that's strange. I also have had
Yeah.
that weird issue, but that might just be because we're old.
yeah, I get scared by it. That's the point. I don't want to be scared by it. Then don't play it.
Or watch it. Just, watch
You
a
are
weird
trying.
video
Again,
of
don't-
one
None
of
of
the
these kids
YouTubers.
have ever
Creepy
played
stuff.
it. All they do is watch it on
Watch
YouTube,
it on YouTube,
and then
okay.
get mad at me if I don't know anything
Oh
about
my
it.
goodness.
You know Undertale? No, you suck.
Well, to be fair,
Thanks.
that's...
I had a kid. I was at a Boy Scout camp, and I was helping kids like figure out archery stuff. And one kid was like, "Do you know Undertale?" I was like, "What?" And then another kid, we were like shooting bows, and he was like, "Wow, it's a lot harder than it is in Minecraft."
You
just
would
looking
be
around like-
amazed.
I'm like, "What has happened?"
Oh, I work at a summer camp, and I am the archery specialist at summer camp. And
Right.
it's just that the children always make video game references, which is fine. I am getting a degree
Totally.
in video game design. I 100% understand your video game references most of the time. But no, this has nothing to do with whatever you're talking about.
At least follow basic safety instructions
Please.
while you're busy talking about Minecraft.
Please, because I
Talking
don't.
about Minecraft forever. Don't shoot anybody.
Please,
See,
yeah.
now I can just...
Children,
Wondering what's
See,
friendly
now-
fire exists in real life.
Now I can just see, like, some kid being like, there's a skeleton inside you!
No,
Wow!
no.
Oh, actually has happened. I've had a child point an arrow at me and be like, you're a skeleton. Like, this is out there or you're not shooting.
Oh, man. That's great. All right, we got a little away from that there, but yes, Nintendo Labo
Just
looks
put him
pretty
in
fun.
Undertale timeout.
Looks pretty fun. I'm looking to see what
the
other things they might be able to do with it.
Well, yeah.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, the 2 sets coming out. For,
Probably more to come if it takes off in
70
popularity.
It's 70 for one, and then 80 for the robot one.
Okay,
All
that's a little bit of a bummer. I was hoping it would be cheaper. 'cause
You get
it's
the game
cardboard.
with it, so
I know,
That's
but it's
true.
cardboard.
and rubber bands.
What if I just want the cardboard?
It's cardboard of the future.
Can I buy it
Trademark.
without the game?
Not
Like,
right.
if my
Not
robot
not
breaks-
right
Not
about
right
now.
now. They'll probably will have supplemental kits where it's like, hey, you can replace the cardboard with these kind of thing, and then you probably could just pick up one.
I
of
do
those.
like that the visor is just like, because I like the idea that like you could just set up like a VR visor essentially with
Yeah.
a Nintendo Switch.
With the Switch.
That's super cool.
Ha!
All right.
Exactly.
So that's Nintendo Labo. So Lobo, goodness. So
that.
next
It's a
we've
good
got several different mobile things that
Rapid fire.
mobile news from Nintendo that we're just going to
Rapid
kind of
fire
rapid fire it. So the first one is that Miitomo is unfortunately being discontinued. They're shutting it down.
But
But
from the embers
of that
fire that we
sacrifice.
burned Miitomo, possibly a mobile Mario Kart. Hey!
2019.
It'll still have all the like Miitomo stuff. Like you can still ask like Link on a motorcycle like questions about your friends. When he wins, he'll be like, "Hey, I know I'm not like in canon supposed to talk, but like Greg says that he also likes cats."
I don't quite. If they did implement that, that would be interesting. But I don't quite think that's the direction.
Just
they're going.
imagine,
Put
like,
his thing under
you
the
like
sun.
throw a red shell at someone as you're driving by. It's like, what did you have for dinner?
So yes, so Miitomo is unfortunately being discontinued.
May 6th,
it's-
it's going down, but if you log in every day, if you still have an account, you get an additional 5 game tickets and 2,000 coins on top of the daily bonus.
Yep, and the coins can be used on the main Nintendo hub that you linked it up to. You can like get free games with it and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's very, very cool.
I should download it just for that.
So with that, Mario Kart Mobile, something that's going to be coming out next year.
Possibly.
We'll see if that develops the way I think it will.
My one comment about this is that Nintendo, like other game companies, is like, yeah, we could do some mobile stuff. Do apps to link to it, like Bethesda did, or they made Fallout, the Pip-Boy.
Pip-Boy.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
They did
I love it.
Fallout Shelter, like Activision does stuff where you can like
Yeah.
Call of Duty games, you connect it. Nintendo's like, we don't know what mobile devices are. All we know is that the Nintendo DS does everything. And then they're like, well, iPhones are a thing. So they did that, and
Pokemon Go.
Miitomo.
And Miitomo.
They didn't do Pokemon Go technically.
That was Niantic and the Pokemon Company, which is separate,
Okay.
but yeah.
So they
If
went
you don't-
Miitomo.
If you don't think that Nintendo is still printing money off of the
Oh, yeah,
Pokemon
definitely.
Go
Oh,
thing,
yeah, no,
I'm gonna.
well, it's because their stocks went up because of it, even though it has nothing to do with them.
So
It's great. It's
But yeah,
the
I think
best
it's Pokemon Go. They've got they had Miitomo for a little bit until it ends. There's also I think Mario Run is still going.
yeah, but what they did with that is that was
Yeah.
the second game they released. It's like, Mario Run. It's like, it's great. People will love it. It's like, oh, it's free. It's like, you do the first world, you get like to World 5. It's like, yeah, you want to play the rest of the game? Yeah, how much? $10. Everyone's like,
Yeah, no.
That's,
yeah,
that's a bit pricey for a mobile game.
yeah. And then they basically went, you don't fucking bother with it. Here's Pocket Camp.
Yeah, that's next up actually. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which I just learned today got fully released at some point.
Which
Yeah.
is good because now you don't have to wait for the clothing.
That's true.
update
Like
That's
it,
true,
it,
yeah.
only within the past like couple weeks did the actual crafting for clothing came out.
Swearing
They have an event every other week now, so this is a good
They
time
did
to actually
Okay,
have it.
all right.
I just did back
Since
to back
it's
events.
new,
Yes.
there's a lot of trial and error with the events because the previous event, after they introduced the garden,
The
the
butterfly
flowers
one?
and the butterflies was really hard to catch.
Because you have to catch the butterflies.
And I was staying up to
okay.
all hours of the morning trying to collect
Trying to get
everything.
them all.
And now the new one, it's like Gothic Lolita, and now it's
Bats.
it's
Now you catch
easier to catch the little
Okay,
batty
all right.
bats.
I'm interested.
they
I'm
don't
interested.
shade.
I'm at the
You
very
see-
least, I'll try it out because I still plug some time into New Leaf on the 3DS
Yeah.
from time to time.
And it's free, and
So-
it's all of the characters from all the different
Not
games.
all of them, actually.
Well,
I did
they're releasing more and more of them.
at-
Yes,
Punching-
because I did the research on this on launch. I think the 3DS game had like 330 something different villagers,
Yeah.
and then when Pocket Camp first released, it only had like 80.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they're
slowly-
obviously they're going to
slowly
update it and throw
adding
in more of their roster. And a lot
They're
of
adding them
ones
like
that
2
they'll
at a
recognize.
time. It's
Yeah.
it's super fun. You can customize. You can talk to other people because every time you go to a new location, there's an animal, but there's like some random player.
Now, would you say that this would be not a complete substitute, but something suitable for people who are looking from Miitomo to get into something? Would you recommend
Yes.
this?
Kind of. They have to implement like a messaging system
Okay.
because there's nothing of the kind. While in Miitomo, it was accepted in China as a form of social media. So
Oh,
there was a
okay.
man that had a layover and he couldn't contact anybody, but he could contact his friends on Miitomo to say, "I'm not dead.
Right.
The's just a 24-hour
Well, there you
layover."
go.
Okay. All right.
But there's nothing like that in Pocket Camp. You
No.
can't
Gotcha.
message anybody.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for the Star Fox version.
Yeah, Star Fox, Metroid, Pikmin, eventually the whole Nintendo
Barrel
cast.
by throwing your phone into a circle.
Or take your phone.
Please take my phone. Did you see my face?
I know you wanted to
they
throw.
mail you like 30 seeds and you plant them, and then when you like wake up one day, they're like it's a bunch of Pikmin taking your phone to power the spaceship to
Oh
get
my
the hell
goodness.
off this
I will
stupid
say
planet.
I do like Pocket Camp better than Miitomo because there's actually stuff you can do.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a
you
lot
can
more
just-
engaging. Whereas Miitomo, you
Yes.
always had to wait for like
Go
new
for it.
questions to come out. Or,
I like the fishing
to
better in
collect
Pocket
coins.
Camp. Just fuck it in New Leaf.
I was surprised that Miitomo didn't have more of like the silly 3DS games, like
Yeah.
the Hero Quest or whatever. where you're,
Like
fighting
Tomodachi, the way
Yeah,
Tomodachi
yeah.
Life had.
Yeah, like
It would have
you
been
know,
cool.
Something.
Take your friends out on the like Tomodachi
Quest
quests.
and adventures.
Like,
yes. But hey,
That'd be
I-
a pretty cool
I
concept.
mean,
but-
I'm gonna miss Miitomo. I'm saving all of my friends' ridiculous pictures. I loved the picture implementation.
Oh yeah, the first,
Amazing.
literally, I remember when it first came out. I just read a Kotaku article that just had like a ton of things. Like it's like this is basically like a weird fucking Instagram because it's like you're taking pictures with a bunch of me characters and like throwing them on random stuff. So
It's
it's
just
like,
shit posting and it's
oh my
wonderful.
god, it was glorious. I
There was,
remember there was one. I can't remember his name. The gentleman who was always posing by people at the
yeah,
Magic
and he got
tournaments,
banned.
who got banned because he was posing with people exposing their underwear and whatnot. Somebody put a me with that, doing that same pose next to another me, and I was just like, "That's great." So
There was one that I made of me and Chad. It was like when the Gothic clothing update on, and we
Yes.
both wore it. And then I captioned it, "Is this Hamilton?"
I remember that. Oh man, that was good too.
And my friend got mad at me. He's like, "I guess it is Hamilton."
All right.
I'm gonna miss my friend Allison sending us memes at 3 in the
Her
morning.
Hermes face was literally upside down.
What?
Upside down.
You can do that?
Always naked,
'Cause you
and
can-
then there's like finger pointers or something.
So they
Would
used to
put their me in the middle of the picture and have the finger pointers surrounded, and then just use your imagination.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, the ridiculousness that is.
I
Wonderful.
preferred my friend Megan's because she just wanted to be a
Birds.
bird.
the wonderful world of Miitomo. So
Where
it
else
will
can I
be.
put-
It will be missed.
Where else can I put Kylo Ren in a dress? He looks stunning.
Fan art?
Fan art.
Hashtag fan art.
Reddit, probably.
Send that to our Twitter. Make up some fan art. And use the @Talkbox Podcast hashtag.
But make sure it's
Kylo
the
Ren in a
Talkbox
dress.
podcast.
Make sure it is make sure it's @the Talkbox Podcast, not @Talkbox. We've had that mistake.
Those are
before.
other guys.
Other guys. Yep.
At the Talkbox Podcast, hashtag Kylo Ren in a dress. Send us your fan art. It could be Chad in a dress. It could be Kylo Ren in a dress. It could be Adam in a dress. Who cares?
Yep.
You certainly don't.
Just make sure it's not fan art of Android 21. And with that coming full circle, we're going to
All
come
you're
to
going
a
to
close.
get.
Well, what else do we have? Do we have anything else?
We still got time. We still got like 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
man.
eh? Well, we have a one cool thing segment. So here we go, Adam. Ready?
One cool thing.
Da-da-da-da. All right, that's our theme song. So here we are. We're going to go around with one cool thing that we've done within like the past month or the past week that was not addressed within our stuff. So
Just what
we'll
it
start with
Get
Zach.
back to me. Get back to me.
Get back to you. All right,
Oh, I have to think of
Adam.
something.
I keep fucking kickstarting RPGs.
Oh dear, tell us. What do you
Alright,
got?
so the first one I did was Tiny Dungeon, which I love Tiny Dungeon. I'm starting to get stuff for that. You can be fucking tree folk now.
Ooh.
You can be a bear. You can be a bear, Jason.
I know. Good. I'm glad. Live your dream.
And then there's 2 different types of lizard folk. They updated the salamander one, so you can heal with either hot or cold damage.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
You can pick one.
Ice frog.
You can do that. And the last one I did for the same company was is called For Coin and Blood, and it's basically they pitched it as you play as the characters that other campaigns fight. So
Oh,
basically,
okay.
you can be bad guys. They have a new thing called infamy that goes up every time you do something ridiculous.
That's cool.
And there's like a chart for it. One of them's like, if you become super infamous, it's like how to get max infamy.
Oh,
Fuck.
We knew it was going to happen at some point.
I'll get back.
All right.
All right.
There.
RPGs.
I believe you.
RPGs. All right, Zach, would you like to go next?
Sure. I've been rediscovering games on the 3DS. I was playing Pokemon Conquest because I had to travel.
Oh, that was the one that was like.
Samurai Warriors
Yeah.
crossed over with Pokemon. Yeah, it's super weird, but I'm kind of enjoying it because like the battles are interesting and like each stage has different win conditions. We had one where it was a fighting ring, and you needed to capture 4 flags in the fighting ring, and then there were bridges to get there, and if you got hit next to the edge, you got knocked off, and you had to like climb back out and like climb around and then get onto the bridge and then do the thing. And it's great. And then you get to recruit various ancient samurai warlords that now have Pokemon. So that was cool. And then I've also been playing all kinds of different weird games. Codename Steam, which is Valkyria Chronicles, but it's steampunk, and Abraham Lincoln has gotten a special forces crew of various literary people. My current team is Queequeg, the dude from the like native harpoon guy from Moby Dick, the main character from the Red Badge of Courage, Johnny Appleseed, no, Tom Sawyer.
Easy to get those two confused, I imagine.
And the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz.
This is codename Steam?
This is codename Steam. We're fighting aliens.
This is like a build-your-own fucking League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, right?
It is straight crazy.
All right.
At one point, the boss battle was I had to hop into a giant Abraham Lincoln mech to fight a giant alien, and it was just stunning. I've also been playing Fire Emblem Echoes, which is an okay Fire Emblem. It's not because it's just a reboot of the old Fire Emblem Echoes. But it would have been nicer to see like a lot more of the stuff that they added for Fates and for Awakening into it, and they just kind of kept it like, okay, we're basically the same thing, but we updated all the character art, and I'm like, okay, that's something. And then I've been playing SMT games because my girlfriend really enjoys anything that Atlas has made ever. So now I'm playing that.
There you go. I can recommend like maybe one Atlas title to you, but
that's okay. I had Harry purchase one for me on the sly the other
Which
day.
game?
Operation Darkness. It's
Okay.
Atlas made a game that's basically World War II. You were part of a special forces team. Some of your members are werewolves. You have to fight Nazi vampires. And that's the game. Hitler's a necromancer.
That sounds like fun.
Wow. It's
Giving a bad name to
dumb. It is. But that's okay, because I'm going to recruit his Nazi Robocop tank man on my side. And then we'll be the best fighting force.
Oh, what movie does that remind me of?
I don't
Iron Giant? I don't know.
No!
RoboCop? You mean Dread?
No, it's not Dread.
The
RoboCop?
Nazis? I don't know.
Yeah, literally. And
Okay.
it's like
Wolfenstein?
45... No. It's for like 45-minute long movie. What's it called?
Yeah, those. If I can add one more cool thing.
sure.
They announced that they're releasing a new Valkyria Chronicles, and a good Valkyria Chronicles. Oh my god!
All right.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like in a winter wonderland. It's gonna be like in the main game setting. It's gonna have like the same like regular old Valkyria Chronicles stuff that we like, and it's gonna be
Kung
released.
Fury.
Why did that
Kung
remind
Fury?
Oh no!
Kung Fury.
Because there's Nazis in Kung Fury that you fight. I understand.
I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't pay attention
But yeah,
to that
no.
stupid movie.
The new Valkyria Chronicles is going to be legit, and they got a corgi with a hat. All right,
All right.
moving on.
So
I'm back.
Max has a bunch of games. Adam had the RPGs that he's been kickstarting. For me, I'm trying to think of one cool thing that I've been doing. Really,
Nothing.
I've been trying to complete.
Ignoring the rest of us.
No, rude. I've seen him more than I've seen you, you turd.
Fair enough. I've been busy.
The one thing that I can think of off the top of my head is that I've been trying my best to 100% complete Fallout 4. And I've had so much trouble with this because I literally have all of the achievements except for one. And it's the one to get 8 different raider outposts from Nuka World. Which I could have done in the core game before I decided to kill all of the raiders.
Why did you do that?
Because I saw
hold
them.
on.
They don't respond.
Why would you kill all of the raiders? I don't know. They're huge turds.
Before you got the achievement,
Okay,
though.
but that's
I didn't know.
that's
Honestly.
Fair enough.
that's a save your game, do all the evil shit, then load back to the other one once you've got the
Yes.
achievement.
So now I'm playing through with a brand new character, just trying to like beeline my way straight there. Using a completely different build than what I did before. So first off, I was basically just like doing power armor and snipers and automatic weapons. Now I'm going like pistols with a mostly complete stealth build.
I've also been playing Fallout 4 for the first time myself, and it's one of those things where I wasn't sure. It was so weird to not have like a skill, like the regular skill thing. So it's all just, here's all your perks and also all your skills. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So now I have max charisma.
Nice.
Not much else.
That's effectively Jason. That's effectively my character in it.
Basically.
No,
and
what is
it's
the-
just weird because I don't like... I have some lockpicking and some... Like, I've just been putting my stats into all charisma, one for, like, the pacify, and then I just have a couple for the, like, getting into locked places. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be good at combat, but that's why I have Nick Valentine in a robot suit, so...
So,
You put him in the power armor?
Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't
I've never
I?
seen Nick in power armor.
It might have been Kate. I might have been... the last thing I did was help a poor ghoul boy out of a fridge, so I don't know what else is happening.
Alright, so moving on from that, Angie, do you have one cool thing that you would like to share?
I started a YouTube channel.
Alright.
Yeah, plug that shit.
Hashtag shameless plug, let's go. Yeah, let's hear, what's the channel?
I think it's just default right now.
Okay.
Since I don't really go on an actual laptop. I'm mostly glued to my mobile. But it's the Lavender Shadows. And I don't know if there's even spaces in that. But it's a stimming channel. I have a huge hoard of notebooks. And I've just have this compulsion to buy them all the time, and I get yelled at and glared at.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't use them, I just buy them. So I'm like, I need to have like a use for them.
So
And
she'll
some of
flip
them-
through the pages, she'll record herself writing in them, so it's stimming.
And
Oh, okay.
yeah.
ASMR stuff.
Kind of,
Except I
yes.
don't talk.
Okay.
some of the
That's
talk
fine.
It's just, it's all
fucking
it's
weird.
the sounds and the...
Oh yeah, it could be worse. It's what's the one?
Yeah.
I think I still watch the woman who eats like a gratuitous amount of
usually
food.
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing that gets-
But I got away from that and started getting into the one where it's a woman in a regular Chinese office, and then she's like, "Time to make food out of random stuff that's here." And I was like, "Okay, this is the proper mix
Down
of
with it.
business person culture and MacGyver that I needed in my life."
Good.
And then she'll like bake a pizza using like a light, like just like
Oh my
That's
whatever.
amazing.
It's great.
Alright, so
Jason, you got anything? One cool thing?
Started New Vegas.
Yeah.
Started Fallout New Vegas.
yeah,
Is this, are you doing
I-
this for the very first time?
Yes, I played 3 for like an hour because as I started playing it, my computer had problems, and then after my computer got my computer back, Inquisition came out, so all of my time went into Inquisition.
Oh, yeah.
And then Fallout 4 came out, so I never went back to 3. I played 4, and then my friend was screaming at me to play New Vegas, so I started playing
From
New Vegas.
all the way across the world.
She's in New Zealand.
Oh, nice.
So she keeps screaming at me, play New Vegas, this is her favorite. I've been playing it, it's a pretty good game. I like 4 better, but I think it's more because I've spent more time in 4.
No,
I think that's
I
why.
agree. I like the story better in New Vegas, but
it's more
mechanically,
it's more emotionally pulling the story
Yeah.
for 4.
mechanically, I feel like I definitely
wrong
am
game.
set with
No, that's
4
the
at
right
this
game.
No, it's the right game. His name is still Sean. You're fine.
Yes.
His name is
my
still Sean.
intrusive thought was just to say it.
In both of them, yeah.
Yes, his name is still Sean. You're good.
Oh goodness! All right, well that's good. Okay, so
The Great Khans did nothing wrong. I'm going to say that.
They shot me in the head, so
That was Benny! He doesn't count because he's a slime! Bada bing!
all right, and on that we are going to start to bring this podcast to a close. So thank you very much for making it to the end of this episode. We had a lot to talk about.
I'm sorry.
What are we clocking in at so far?
We're just over 48 minutes.
All right,
If you
perfect.
ask him, then we're going to just keep going.
Well, yeah. But anyway, so we're clocking in around that. But that's good, though. That's good. We're trying to keep this manageable. So thank you very much for listening. Please check us out. We're on all other different forms of social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We do have a Discord in the works, quote unquote, that I'm trying to figure out. We've also got, the other stuff here on YouTube. Listen to our podcast either through iTunes or
My
YouTube.
blog.
And also Adam's new blog.
It's all going to be in the links. And
Yeah, we'll all have it in the links in the description box below.
will be
And
interesting.
on yeah.
I will put them there.
So,
Get on that, buddy.
so
Got it.
in addition to that, also check out Angie's channel if you feel so inclined. That's the Lavender Shadows.
I think so.
Lavender
It
Shadows.
just says, oh, wait.
Lavender Shadow. Okay, Lavender Shadow, 2 words with a space in between. So yes, go check that out if you feel so inclined. And as always, I'm Chad,
I'm Zach.
I guess I'm Adam.
Jason.
Angelina.
and we will catch you guys next time. Thank you for listening to the Talkbox Podcast. See ya.
Bye.